This is Wago Dongo and welcome to the channel. As always, like and subscribe and hit the notifications bell so that you can know when the next video in the series comes along. Okay, so we are going to start off building our app. And first things first, I like setting out the folder structure so that you can know where everything goes. And that is what we are going to do. As you can see, we're starting off with just a usual run-of-the-mill app. There are no changes that have been made. Nothing has been added. It's just the usual app. So we're going to first set out our project structure. So to do that, we come here to project, and this is what let's switch to project view. And for that, we're going to the lib folder, or lib if you like it. And after that, we're going to make a few folders. The first, I'm using Visual Android Studio, but you could follow along with Visual Studio Code. I prefer using Android Studio. So what we're going to do is first we're going to create a new package. We're going to call it BLoC. This is where the various blocks will live. And hit OK. And then we are going to create another one called a new package. It's called models, like so. That's where the next one will live. And after that, we are going to create one. I'll fill them along so you will know exactly what they're for. We're going to create a new package, not a .dat file, a new package. We're going to call it repositories, like so. The app is starting up, so you will just see the usual counter app. And after that, we'll have another package where our pages, I don't know, I'm still torn. Do you call them screens or pages? I prefer pages, so that's what we're going to create. UI, that's where our UI is going to live. We'd like to separate our concerns, and then we hit OK. And then, yeah, so those are the various pages that we are going to have. Another thing we could add maybe is come to the UI, create a new .dat file. We can call it constants. This is where we're going to be exporting constants from, like so. And in the UI, we can also create another package. We could call it, okay, we'll create that later. And of course, we have main.dat. And yeah, so this is what we want to, these are the packages we're going to create. We're going to put everything in blocks, models, repositories, UI, and then we're going to have constants.dat. So let's go along. There are two packages we need to add for the pages and the widgets. So we would come to UI here and we would create a new package. We would call it pages, like this. And then we would come back here to UI and create a new package, call it widgets. That's where our pages and widgets would live. So next thing we're going to do is hook this up to Firebase and get all the various Firebase. We won't just be, I will hook up everything that we require in Firebase. I won't be hooking it up progressively. I'll just go along and hook up everything so that we don't have to go back and fetch the Firebase packages. We're just going to deal with Firebase right here, right now. And yeah, various packages that we require. So we come here, and the first thing we need is Firebase storage. Firebase storage will be useful in storing our images. This is where we're going to keep our images. So we come here, get Firebase storage, copy like so, come back here, we go to pubspec.yaml, and just under Cupertino like this. Make sure this file is indentation sensitive, so make sure that you align this true. And after that, we're going to get Firebase core. So you would say Firebase core like this, and installing, come to installing, fetch this, copy this, stick it in your pubspec.yaml like so. And after that, we are going to, what are we going to get next? Firebase auth. We're going to use email to login. So we are going to have to get Firebase auth or auth, and for that we're going to say Firebase underscore auth or auth, and we are going to come to installing, copy Firebase auth like so, copy, and we put it in a PubSec YAML like so. And after that we're going to use Cloud Firestore. We're going to use Cloud Firestore for our messaging primarily, and for that we're going to use get Cloud Firestore like so, and yeah, installing. We copy this, right, and we stick it in the over here. So we have everything we need from Firebase primarily. So the first thing is to hook everything up and make sure it works. And before that we have to hit pub.get, and we're going to get an error, I believe, because we are yet to hook it up. And give it a second. I think if we try to run it, that's when, is it running? Okay, just data analysis. I think if we try to hit this, that's when we will get a problem. But basically what we've done is we have connected to everything that okay, is it? Okay, so we have hooked up, we have gotten all the Firebase packages, and we should move on from there. Let's continue and let's connect our app to Firebase. And for that we go to the Firebase console like so, and we go to console like this. Give it a second. And this is the original project. You can see it's connected to iOS and Android, and we can add a new project. We can call it, let's call it chill, and we hit continue, and enable Google. No, we don't want Google Analytics. Create project, give it a second. Give it a second as it loads. Good thing is we could fetch the name of our app. This is the app currently running, the one that we had originally built. I made a few changes to the UI. I added a preferred widget to give it more space, and I also put the name at the top of the app bar. So those are the only two things I did, two minor things. Because if you don't use the preferred widget, everything will be clumped up here, and this tab will be too close to the exit app button. So I felt to move everything down and put the name. Just two minor cosmetic changes, but the functioning is still exactly the same. We'll be making minor cosmetic changes, like maybe change color and things like that, and we'll get to it. Okay, our new project is ready. So yeah, so first things first is before we connect, we could just make sure that everything that we're going to use is ready. We're going to be using authentication, database, storage, these three, right? So for that we could come to storage and just hit get started. Next, you could switch up. I'm in Africa, so I'll use Europe West. Yeah, I read that Amazon now have a server in Cape Town. Maybe Google should also consider having one closer to its African users. So the bucket will contain all the pictures that we can send in the profile pictures, and also the pictures we can send each other on on the messaging. So for example, as it's building, wait, let me just come back here. this pictures, so this pictures and also the pictures that you can send each other, like okay, I'm logged into another account, so you can send a picture, like for example I could come here and hit this, and I should be able to select one of the pictures. So give it a second, like so, pick this photo. I only have the photos that come with the phone, so it takes a bit of time. Let me sip on some coffee. Yeah, so basically that's what storage will do. And we come back here, and what are the rules? I'll check the rules. Are the rules? Let me just check the rules first, because I want to set it up once. I like setting it up once and we move on from there. And authentication, we're only going to use the email and password. We're not going to use Google sign in or any other sign in. So we'll just say enable and hit save. So yeah, we have set up email and password. And for the database, I noticed that there's something. Okay, you click here, they say something about go to Google Cloud platform. So I don't know, when I was building this wasn't the case, so I am not entirely sure how this is done, but I'll figure it out and just sort it out. A bit of reading about the new incorporation of the Google Cloud platform, and I think what you should do is click on that, go to Google Cloud platform. And I didn't see this earlier when I was building, but they must have changed. Things always change. In fact, as I was building this, BLoC got upgraded to BLoC 4.0, and they're breaking changes. So we'll probably just use 3.2 instead of migrating to 4.0. But if you want to use 4.0, you should be allowed. You should just go ahead and do it. I believe the changes are not too many, but I just didn't want to go through the documentation for another time. But anyway, let's get through this. We're going to use native mode. We hit switch modes, and I believe that's what is. Yeah, I believe we use native mode. Let me just confirm, come back to authentication, then come to database, and yeah, so just when you come here, when you get to the database, just click on the Google Cloud platform, choose native mode, and that should be fine for our needs, right? Next, after that is we should come to database, and we leave it open. Let's just change the rules. We say allow read write, and say publish, like so. It should give us an error. Your rules are defined as public. So anyway, yeah. So we change the rules, because the database is in locked mode when you select it from the GCP, the Google Cloud platform. So you set it to allow read and write like this, so that you can easily read and write. I think the next thing we're supposed to do now is come here and set up let's start with iOS first. So yeah, with iOS, you click here, and they tell you to give the bundle name of your app, and you can find the bundle name it's usually in the Android manifest. So for that, you come to Android, I believe, app SSC main, and it's here, Android manifest. So the name of my app is k.co .myname.chill. So you could just copy this, go back to our console, hit that. We do not want an app nickname. We could just hit register app. We'll get a plist file. We'll get a file that we need to put, and for that file, the next thing you do is just you download it. We hit allow, like so. After that, we come back to our app, and we want now to set up, but we're still setting up our iOS, right? So we should come back to Xcode, and of course you have to have Xcode installed if you want to run iOS simulator. So we could say open another project, click on that, and we could go to code, and we get chill. App is called chill. Hit the iOS and hit open like that. Give it a second and it should open. We're now in our iOS file, and as you can see with the bundle identifier, we have the name of our app, which is k.wago.dongo.chill. And next thing we need to do is we're supposed to get the Google services info.plist, the file we downloaded from the Firebase console. Come and drag it and put it just under runner, like so. You'll be given this, and it will say add to targets runner, and we can hit finish, like so. And I believe that is all we need to do when it comes to connecting iOS. So our iOS is done, and if you haven't done it for a long time, you might have to cd into your iOS folder and do either pod upgrade or pod upgrade. My timer is going off. Yeah, so that's basically what you have to do. That's how you set up the iOS. Next thing to do is to set up the Android connection, because Flutter is of course multi-platform, and we would like to connect both Android and iOS. If you're having problems with the iOS connection, check and ensure that your our packages are the same, right? You may need to. I had lots of problems when I was building the app. I had to cd into change directory into the iOS folder and run pod install, and there were some packages that didn't play well together with especially with the Firestore component, and that's something you should look at. And if you have a problem, just Google it. But now let's set up the Android side of things. Okay, now we come back to our app and we continue. We're hooking up the Android, and for that we go back to our console and we click on the add app. You have to add the apps independently, and here you can add the web and iOS. We've already done that, and now it's time for Android. And now for Android, we get the name, and the name is of course in the manifest file. And for that we come to main and click on Android manifest. So this is the name that we have given the app, and we copy this and we go back to our console and we hit that, and we click on register app, like so, and we give it a minute. We're supposed to get a file from this, and we download this file, and we get this file, Google services.json, and we show it in the Finder. We get this file and we click on it and we add to the app folder. We put it in the app folder, like yes, and we hit OK, and it should be in the app folder. Google. We've gotten the JSON services, and we go back to our console and we hit next, and we're supposed to add this files. So this should go into, we could click on this file, 4.33, and this will be in our project build.gradle. So we could click on this, copy this like so, and we come here, and it's our project build.gradle. So we should come here, and it's on the, where is it? Let me just confirm. It's on the dependencies, right? So we come back here and we go to the dependencies, and I think it should be class path. It should be somewhere here. So we could hit that like so, and after that we come here and make sure that it's in the repository. We have Google, and we do have Google, and after that the app builder Gradle, we should copy this line and apply plugin. Okay, so that's usually, is it at the bottom? So the app builder Gradle, we should copy this file somewhere at the bottom, I think, like so, and it's giving me this error message because I do not have Android on my. I'm just showing you how to connect to Android, but I do not have Android. This computer only has the iOS simulator. When I want to test Android and work on Android, I normally use another laptop, my Windows laptop, which only has the Android. It's just to save space. The Android emulator can sometimes take something like 12 GB, and I don't have a lot of space on this computer. So basically, that's how you're supposed to do it. And yeah. And if you have any errors, of course, Google and check around, and so that you can sort it out. And yeah, basically that's how you add Android. Another thing I just remembered was that for Android, connecting to Android, you come to in the Android folder in the app, in the build Gradle file, that is on the app level, and change the SDK version to 21, and make sure that yeah, you don't want to go as far back as 16. 21 is adequate. And next, hit start your app, and hopefully if you have connected it, you should get you shouldn't get any errors. Ignore my errors because I don't have Android set up on this computer. So since we're not getting any errors and we're getting a 0, we have connected officially to Firebase, and that was all about Firebase connecting. In this we have connected Android and Firebase, and we have also put up the various files we'll need: the blocks, the models, the repositories, the UI, and of course main.dat. In the next video, we will work towards building some of these things, and the first thing we need to do is, of course, set up the login and logout, because that's the entry point of our app. Like I said, I just noticed that a couple of days ago that Flutter BLoC was updated to 4.0. We'll be using 3.2. So you will need to reach back into, I believe, the documentation to see what was there in 3.2 that we'll be using. But if you want, I believe the number of changes that were made are not that many. So for you to follow along, for you to use 4.0, it's very easy to do. So yeah, that's basically what we're going to do looking forward, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Have a good day, smash the like button and share this video. Yeah,